Hare Krishna, the 28th Shloka from the first chapter of the Gita. Arjuna Uvacha Drishtveemam Swajanam Krishna Yuyutsam Samupasthetam Sidanti Mama Gatrani Mukham Cha Parishushyati. Let's see what it means. So here Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna is saying, Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up." You can, for a second, you can imagine yourself and all your relatives and family members against you, right? You are going to fight against them. They are the enemy, and you have to fight with them. So with just imagining this thought, we feel very distressed, right? We feel very bewildered. We feel very, it's not usual for us. But here, like us, even Arjuna is he's feeling numb in his lungs and quivering, and his mouth is drying up. Right, let's read the purport. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods, whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualification by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities, right? So here it is mentioned that how much ever a person may be qualified by education and culture in a materially advanced society, he may still lack in godly qualities, right? As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. So it highlights how compassionate Arjuna was, how he really cared of even the opposition's soldiers, right? It's very rare to think about that. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver and his mouth became dry. Right? His limbs started to shake, his mouth started to become dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind of devotee like Arjuna. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but to his soft-heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. Right? It is said, therefore, yasyasti bhaktir bhagavate akinchana sarvair tatra samasate suraha harav abhakstasya kuto mahadguna manorathena sati dhavato bahi. So if there is a pronunciation mistake, please do apologize me, right? So here it says, one who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods, but one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. So this shloka alone gives us a lot of meaning right? You can just play back it once again to hear the purport. So here we see how Arjuna is literally shivering. We can imagine ourselves when our relative and family members are very eager to fight with us, right? They want to kill us. You can just imagine it, how Arjuna might have been feeling. At the same time, his soft heart is also compassion about them, right? So here Arjuna is confused and is seeking help from the Lord Krishna himself. So let's see what happens in the next shloka tomorrow. Hare Krishna.